Hey everybody, Lakers Freak 24 here, and I went fishing yesterday and caught a 6-pound catfish, 3-pound bass, and a couple bluegill. All in about an hour's time, and I was just gonna show you what I used for the bass, the catfish, and the bluegill. But I'm gonna do 3 separate videos. So here's what I used for the bass. What I used was this is a Bass Pro Shops Mega Tournament reel. And this is I believe the model number. It's the MTX 206OM-2. That's one of the bigger ones that they sell, and it holds 6 to 12 pound line, and it holds 220 yards of 6-pound line. So I have 6-pound diameter braid on there. So I got about 220 yards at 20-pound line, and just a regular worm hookup, and I had Berkeley Gulp Alive, the 5-inch leech on there, and I was just pulling it up from it. I had it just sitting on the bottom. I had gotten a bite on my catfish pole, and so I set it down on top of my tackle box and went back over and picked it up off of the tackle box and pulled it up off the bottom, and got a big bite, and pulled him in, and nice little bass. So I mean, that's proof that the Berkeley Gulp Alive does work. I know there's a lot of skeptics out there, but it does work. And I've only used it once, and I caught a 2 or 3 pound bass on it, so I'd say it works. And then the rod that I have, it came with it. It's an IM6 graphite rod, and it is 6 foot, and it's a medium action rod, and it took care of that bass really quick. Didn't have any trouble pulling him in, and yeah, that's what I used for the bass. And then I guess I can make the videos with all the poles on it, because I got 8 minutes left, so I'll get my other pole. Okay, and what I used for the catfish, I had a live bluegill, and I took the bluegill and I cut a little chunk out of it and threw it out and let it sit, and I had it in my hand, the pole in my hand, and it pulled it out of my hand and across the rocks, broke my spool. I had another spool on here, it was a plastic one, and it broke it and chipped it in half, so I had to put my spare spool on there. But all this is a Bass Pro Shops Mega Cast silver, and it's the MCX30FD, and I've got 17-pound strand line on here, and I've got a 7-foot medium heavy action ugly stick on here, and it's not gonna break, so that's why I used it. And then I found this rig on the Average Fisherman's profile. It's just a Catfish Carolina rig. Got a weight, a bead, a barrel swivel, and then it's got a 4-inch 30-pound leader. I mean, he had 6-inch, but I put 4 inches on there because it's a small pond. It's a 3/0 hook, I think, so like I said, small pond, so I didn't plan on anything giant, even though there is a 60-pound catfish that a guy put in there. It's not a small pond, but it's average size, maybe a little bit smaller. So I don't expect them catching that big 60-pounder unless I threw out something that was bleeding crazily. And I don't plan on cutting up a bluegill to that extent, because I don't want to mess with that, because I've done it before and it got real bloody. So ended up cutting my finger. And I'll get the bluegill pole. And this is my bluegill and crappie pole. It's just a Stream Seeker by Shakespeare, little itty bitty reel. And then I think it's a 5-foot rod, 4'6" rod. I think it's ultralight action. It almost has to be. Yeah, ultralight, 2 to 6 pound line, and just a split shot, barrel swivel, and then a pre-snelled and pre-tied hook. I think it's a size 6. I just put a worm on it and threw it out about 2 feet, and we're just pulling in the bluegill all day long. And that's what I used yesterday, and I think these are my new 3 favorite poles to take whenever I go. When I go to the river, I usually do not bring this pole, the last pole that I had, just because I don't want to get it snapped or broken, because even the shad up there, some of them can get very big, and you can be pulling them in and a catfish take it. That happened to my dad. He snagged a shad and a catfish came and ate it while he was pulling it in and snapped his line, so I don't want that to happen because there's not very much line on it to begin with. And also I've tied a couple bobber with a brain rigs, and just wanted to see if y'all wanted to see those. So if you do, just comment on this video or send me a personal message to my inbox telling me, so I know if it's worth the time to make the video and upload them. This has been Lakers Freak 24. Thanks for watching, and be sure to rate, comment, and subscribe.